Mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Washington Commanders and the Dallas Cowboys. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Down.
They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Faking to give to Mostert. Now Lance out to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's what you would consider a goal for each and every defense, because if you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team because you expect your offense to score more than that. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, but I'd have to say a very solid performance.
Right through.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. For partner, this offense 12-0 now on the year following their latest victory. And during the week, a lot of folks making comparisons between this squad and the 1985 Bears. You know, they too were 12-0 at this juncture of the season before losing on a Monday night 38-24 to the Dolphins at the Orange Bowl way back on December 2nd of 85. But then they'd never lose again en route to winning Super Bowl 20.
And when you look back on it, partner, didn't it almost feel like a setup game? Because they were playing the Dolphins, and the Dolphins were protecting their franchise's undefeated season of 1972, that team. And you know what that team does. They love to celebrate the fact that they still are the only one to get through an entire NFL season that way. That was Dan Marino's 3rd year, playing under the great Don Shula, and they were motivated to keep that franchise's record intact.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down. And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Lance looking to throw it. Eluding, and he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Osa Odighizuwa with the effort there to earn the sack.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. After that last run, Lance is going to throw it here. Going deep downfield for Ross. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. And my goodness, they're now out of timeouts here in this first quarter. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Daron Payne, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, Prescott. He's got a man. That's caught, left sideline. They get 17 down to the 17, and it's a 1st down.
I'll give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. He was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. Sliding out of the pocket. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. Here we go now on 1st and goal. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Good work there, holding them out on 1st down. And this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
They'll try to run with Breida, and he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. And now here's a carry heading left. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal. Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the 2nd quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your 2-point conversion plays, because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have 1 or 2 for the game. You have more like 6 or 7. Which one do you like here? Because that's essentially what you're going for right now. That spot of the field, call one of those and go get 6.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Throwing on 2nd and 3, Lance. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays, because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Over the middle, complete. That's Thomas. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 45-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Let's go.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Running the counter with Mostert. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on.
Red, cycle.
On play action, Lance. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big 3rd down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
White. Green jack.
Now Lance. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So a couple of 1st downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. Well, not too long ago, Charles, that would have been a new NFL record. But instead, it's shy of setting the record, which is 66, but still from 65 away, one of the longest kicks in league history.
And that puts him in elite company in the NFL. Only a few have ever even attempted that, let alone put it through the post. How about his moment? It came together for him, and he delivered.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Prescott. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
Hey, 47. Hey, kill. 47.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And that is incomplete. I don't know, he had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I've given him some credit.
No, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know? The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. On to punt now, Anger, as he boots this one away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Thomas. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. That time on the run-pass option when he decided to throw it. Not a quick little drop-off. He went downfield a bit.
Reminiscent of a triple option quarterback in college because he faked it inside, and instead of immediately throwing it out to the perimeter, stepped back in the pocket to find a target downfield.
Ready, ready.
Lance, a handoff here to Mostert. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
8 yards.
Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try and run here with Mostert. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So we're trading first-half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. We got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. And he'll be brought down at the 27. And he just clocked it. But the clock wasn't even moving. Well, that's one you don't see very often, a wasted down. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. Carlson able to put this one through, and that will tie things up at 6-6. So they're able to make things level just before half and also leave very, very little time on the clock.
And I love the way that you phrased that. Brought a little soccer into it, and that's really apropos considering they just kicked a field goal to tie things up.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. A final shot before half for Lance. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. All even through one half of football as we get back underway in quarter number 3. This one taken just inside the 10. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us. But you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Prescott now. That's going to be caught along the sideline, and what a job of keeping his feet in bounds. They say that's a catch. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a first. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
On play action, Prescott. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. First possession of the 3rd quarter, and interceptions, or maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. On first down, they go with Mostert again. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. Field goal unit and Joey Sly now. This will be a 34-yard attempt. Sly able to put this one through. And they take the lead here as it's now 9-6. Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin the second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
A good action to this point in the 3rd quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. Play fake. Here's Prescott. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
A run with Mostert up the middle. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. And they fake the handoff. Now Lance. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And, oh, that would get a wind-up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
And Thomas has it. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Up the middle they go with Mostert. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Odafe Oweh there on the tackle. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
Throwing now is Lance. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. A bit of extra pressure now for this one on Joey Slye. This to swell the lead to 6. Slye able to put this one through. And they double their lead, pushing it up now to 12-6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And that last turnover could have proven more costly, but their defense only gave up 3. But now answering with a field goal doesn't do them much on this drive. They need to try and find the end zone. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to go up top again. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Well, I think we were both wondering if we were going to see them try and push it deep downfield, facing a one-possession deficit late, and they certainly didn't disappoint. They gave it an effort.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15. Play action now, Prescott. Throws right side, and that's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A gain there of 30 big ones. And that throw there going to put him over 4,000 yards passing now for the season, maybe strengthening his MVP consideration.
And you figure with still a handful of games left to play, 5,000 yards is not totally out of the realm of possibility. The way he is playing, I think he's going to get there.
So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Prescott off play action. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Curl. And the Commanders are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, they tried to take their shot right there, but the ball hung up a little too long, and it's intercepted.
And when you describe trying to take their shot right there, usually the ball has to be thrown on a little bit more of a line. You just mentioned it. The ball hung up there. The reaction time of the defenders, they win the day and intercept it.
On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. Got to figure now after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Here's Hardman to return. He'll be hard-pressed to match that one. That a 65-yard punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Their defense accomplished step one of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth-quarter lead. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. First down, Prescott. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. And the Commanders are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also... He's got a man! Complete! Touchdown, Washington! John Ross, his first touchdown on the year. And the Commanders are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth-quarter lead. And now the Washington offense going to stay out there and go for 2. And this one's caught. And their fourth-quarter lead grows by a couple more. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
The Cowboys take over first down at their own 45-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something
Heads up.
to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. They always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
Not ideal there. That delay of game backs him up 5 yards, so now they need 7 yards on 3rd down. Prescott. He's going to let it fly. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
desperation time. Prescott on 4th. He's got it complete to Tolbert. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Cowboys. Jalen Tolbert, 72 yards. And the Cowboys have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. When you're trailing in the 4th quarter, you got to take some chances you might not normally take, and here, that one pays off big time.
And you have to think to yourself, not only did that pay off big time for them, but what was going on the opposite side of the ball? They know that they have to take a chance here. They know they have to come up with something big, yet it still happens. So credit the execution, but wonder what the defense was doing.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he's going to be out of bounds on the return way back at the 11. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, they can smell victory, partner. They can see it on the horizon, but certainly we're not done yet here. Defense still has 3 timeouts, and obviously this is a very slim lead they're holding on to.
And let's face it, the easiest way to get this done, challenge your ground game. Challenge your offensive line, your tight ends, your receivers, anyone who's going to lay down a block. Don't let there be penetration because they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and maybe bring extra people to the ball. If you can do that, make them burn their timeouts, run out the clock, life will be good. But if you really want to gamble a little bit, a quick play action, quick throw, might be able to get it done. Just make sure it's not incomplete and stop the clock.
On 3rd down, here comes Mostert. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the 1st, right around the 15. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get it to still 1:20 left to go in the game. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Hardman on the return. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence that they're going to put more points up on the board.
So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
He's got a man complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
And this is obviously a spot where you lean on your stars. Get the ball to them in open space and let them do what they do.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. He'll buy some time right. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
And now the decision is to go for 2. A gutsy call, and this, in effect, is your ball game right here. Now receiver in motion left. And they're out of timeouts, remember, so this is going to have to be a delay. Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Carlson now to add the extra point. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the fourth. Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Lance back to throw. He's got McLaurin, and he'll have a quick first down here as he gets out of bounds to stop the clock. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Now Lance. Being chased out left. He's got a man complete. Now they get the timeout. It leads you to wonder, will they kick it here or risk running another play and possibly not getting down in time? We'll see. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They hand it off to Mostert, and he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. And now they're going to get the timeout. A huge play has him in field goal range with a chance to win. Oh, that heart has to be pounding inside the chest of Joey Slye. And his kick is good. And the Commanders are going to win this football game. So a victory here for the Commanders. And I tell you, these division games, never for the faint of heart, but they come through with a tight victory here on the road.
And you find yourself working harder in a game like this too, don't you?
Yeah,
because you got to stay with it, right? You got to stay with it. You got to stay locked in. It's our type of a game. And you just mentioned it. Division game, on the road, tight. And they find a way to win it. Way to hunker down, as my old coach used to say, and find your way through.
So for the Commanders, it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10-3. And they'll return home next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for Dallas, it's their very first clunker of the year as they'll fall to 12-1. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers.
My Brooklyn, go see Chirac, Southside, C12, 911, grrr to the reality, we still outside. Mine on the riches, hard in the trenches. You can't throw dirt on the underground, we thrive in it. Ghana boys stocks on the rise, Charlie, this flex know they ready. See, we wouldn't ride nobody wave, we the ones who started with it. Translation, Yanni had to buy, Yanni had Yanni hits. This goes so hard, even the ops go with it, That's how you know we lit. Grrr,
no loss. We be the hardest on the scene. Gemstones from the dust. Big dog, leash. Where's the love in the streets? For my heart on the beat. See that blood on my sheets. Yeah, when me ready, me hit it heavy. I zoom on the pride of my people already. Tell my sit Ellie. Me, I'm just sharing my journey. I'm thankful the people they hear me. Tribe of Joseph, I'm ahead of the bunch. P5, I was starving for months. A running cut team, but on my pockets, me need my DNA. Baby for lunch, but we call me a star before BBC. Don't take a lot to get rid of me. Me and them don't get the same.